I'm Patrick Byers, Horticulture Field Specialist with University of Missouri Extension. Every year in Missouri, we get winter temperatures that could possibly damage peach flower buds. The most sensitive part of the peach tree to midwinter cold is the flower buds. Temperatures below zero, we expect to see some level of damage, and temperatures in the -10 to -15 range, we see damage on all but the hardiest of peach cultivars. In order to get a feel for the level of damage to the flower buds from cold temperatures, it's necessary to collect a sample and examine the buds. Peach flower buds are born on one-year-old shoots, the shoots that grew last year. In the orchard, they're called redwood because the color of the shoots is typically red or orange. The flower buds are plump and gray, and they're found 1 or 2 per node. Accompanying the flower buds at the nodes are leaf buds, but it's important to be able to differentiate between the flower buds and the leaf buds since we'll be examining the flower buds. The sample of peach branches that you collect should represent the orchard. You want to sample blocks separately, and you want to sample cultivars within the blocks separately because there are differences among cultivars in the sensitivity to winter cold. You'll be collecting the shoots that grew the previous year, and you want somewhere between 50 to 75 shoots per cultivar to get an accurate picture of the level of bud damage. Cold temperature damage to peach flower buds is not immediately apparent after the cold temperatures. You need to wait a few days before you can see damage in the buds. The usual procedure is to collect your sample of branches, place the basal ends in a bucket of water, and then put them at room temperature for 5 to 7 days. By this point, you'll be able to assess damage. We're about a week out from the cold temperatures that we suspect may have damaged flower buds in the peach orchard. Now is the time to do the assessment. We've collected a representative sample, placed the basal ends in water, held them at room temperature for 5 to 7 days. Now we're going to take each of these branches, we're going to cut each flower bud, and we're going to examine the floral parts. Now, the cut should be made about halfway up the length of the bud, like we see here. You don't want to cut too far down. If you cut down here, you'll miss the floral parts and you'll just have the stem, and that doesn't give you an accurate assessment. So you cut about halfway up, and using a sharp blade or a razor blade, you just basically come in and cut the bud. You're then going to examine the bud. If it's a bright yellow or a bright green color, that's a live bud. However, if the center part of that bud is been damaged, it's going to be brown or discolored. And so it's fairly easy to do the assessment. And now we'll go up and we'll cut each bud. And we'll work our way up the stem. Again, we're focusing on the flower buds, not the leaf buds. And as we look down, you can actually get a pretty good picture looking down. We can see a damaged bud, a damaged bud, a live bud, a damaged bud, damaged bud, damaged bud, damaged, damaged, live, and damaged. So there has been significant damage to the flower buds on this particular peach cultivar. We've completed our assessment of winter damage, and there's been significant damage on this particular cultivar. We have about 16% live buds and about 84% dead buds. Obviously, this is going to have an impact on the crop that we would expect on the tree this year. If we haven't pruned the tree yet, we'll definitely want to prune it to leave additional wood that hopefully has live buds on.